How you doing today? We just wrapped up one of our accent alarm gate systems and we're going to take a look at it real quick. If you're in the market for a gate system, vehicle gate system that is, we also do pedestrian gates, but we're going to take a look at this real close. Took us about a month. It was a 12-foot opening and we've enlarged this to about a 14-foot opening. So let's get started. We'll take a look. You can hear it starting to run behind me and you'll be really impressed. You know, the devil's in the details, and we got all the details covered on this one. Hey there, how are you today? If you're new to the channel, I'm Sean with Accent Alarms. I have about 25 years experience designing, installing, and servicing quality, long-lasting automatic gate systems. By automatic gate system, I mean I work on gates, gate operators, cameras, access control, and wired and wireless connectivity. And I've recently added video production to the list of things I do. I'd love to get your feedback, good or bad, down in the comments section, and please take a second to click on that subscribe button. It really helps us out when you do. Keep your head on a swivel and be safe out there. So starting from the outside, you can see what we've done here is we essentially played general contractor for this project, and we caused the concrete to be redone. We're going to stick up a picture of the old gate system here, and you'll see we've widened this by about 4 feet to open an 18-foot opening. So moving in, I'm going to point out we did 5, 6, and 5/8 bollards with the covers on there. A company called Westward Fencing did those in the gates and kind of cleaned up this fence line for us along with the 4-inch bollards there. They do a great job. We do a bunch of work with them, and again, that's Westward Fencing, Dusty Miller, and I'll throw that up on the screen here in a second. We've got a post here. We switched to these square posts years ago, and we put the readers on these little boxes. That gives us a lot of flexibility in the future, and you can see we're just behind that fence line, so it's protected from the vehicles. If I can find it, I'm going to throw a little picture in here of some posts that we pulled out when we had that 12-foot gate in here from about 20 years ago, and compare that to some work that was done by a local fence company. Those concrete on that was about a foot deep and snow cone shape. So, you know, they may have looked the same on the surface, but and if the wind had blown, those might have fallen over. So moving in, you can see we've got the BEA lasers we're using for loop detectors. We'll talk about those a little more. And we've got our UL 325 approved photo beams going across the inside and outside. And I don't know if you can see it, but we've got one on the open direction as well. So let's take a look at this gate. It's a cantilever slide gate, again done by Westward Fencing. We've got our required UL sign up there. So let's go ahead and run a cycle of this gate. This is a HySecurity SlideDriver 50 VF2. Goes 2 or 3 feet per second. This one's at 2 feet per second. There's a little bigger opening, and what I really like about this is it uses some slowdown ramps, so it'll run at 2 feet per second until about the last 18 seconds. And here we go on the close cycle. Sorry, I'm a little close there. I had to get out of the way of my photo beam and my BEA loop. And you can see how smooth that is and how it runs right into the catch without smashing it. Look how close that is. And like I said, I love these gate operators. It lets us really control the stop and start points. As we proceed inside the gate, you can see we got our Dahua 180-degree camera that's got his 4 1080p lenses on here, so we can see a full 180 degrees at the approach and departure of the gate. It's really handy and great picture, good product. Coming across here again, we've got our BEA loop sensors, and what I love about those, and I think you're going to see those become UL 325 approved, what it does is it shoots out a beam, a laser field all along here, and it's programmable, so I can pick the size of my safety loop. And out here I can also select the size of my free exit loop, along with whether I want to ignore traffic that's perpendicular, and I can allow it to just traffic straight in, or I can allow it to pick up traffic either way, and it does ignore pedestrian traffic, and I can pick the size of that. So I'm really excited about these. We've been using them for about a year now. We don't have to cut up the asphalt, and it's a great solution. And like I said, I think we're going to see those become UL 325 approved. It's so much better than the photo beams. Photo beams just shoot a single beam across, and you can see, you know, what if I'm standing out here? You know, the gate's going to close. So like I said, look for that to come soon. So taking a look at our gate operator, we've got the HySecurity SlideDriver 50VF 2-3. And what it does is it moves 2 or 3 feet per second, and that's programmable. You can see how clean we've got everything in here. We got a little service loop. We've got a real ground cable in there going to an 8-foot ground rod. You'll see a lot of guys chintz out and use like a 22 gauge cable, because that's what most security guys or gate guys carry on their truck. What else? We got our snow brush, snow blades, and debris brushes down there. And what we like to do is put our drive rails on using square U-bolts, and we'll use Loctite to lock those in. We don't want those vibrating loose. And one of the great things about choosing accent alarms, and I don't know if we can see this down there, but our bolts, where we're tying down to our concrete pad, you'll find that probably 90% of the guys out there are using those drive-in anchors. Not us. I've seen those come loose after 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and you know, as the gate stops and starts, it lifts on the opposite side. That's no good to have those loose. It's so hard to fix those after the fact. We use the Hilti HL200 2-part adhesive along with the Hilti 1/2 inch Hit Z anchors, and those things will probably never come out of there. I think they use those to build skyscrapers with. So maybe overkill, but it's better to overkill than underachieve. Moving around, we got our Hoffman Enclosure, and at the beginning you saw I got the Hoffman hat on. I want to thank them for the swag. They're not a sponsor, but I certainly appreciate swag from any vendor, so feel free to hook me up. So we've got galvanized double back-to-back strut. We're anchored on all 4 corners on the front and back, and we're using the double strut with a nice bracket to come up with our conduit schedule 80. And as we look in here, you can see we've got that Hoffman enclosure with a locking handle that accepts a padlock. We've got the door stop so this doesn't blow open and knock our hinges off. We've got a data pocket. We've got our heater, and what I like to do is add a override for those heaters. I've seen these after, I don't know, 8-10 years where this thermostat will go out and the heat will run away. This is a backup for that. We don't want this enclosure to be 200 degrees in the summer. We've got our open options, SSP D2 Series 3, going to the DNA fusion system, Phoenix Power 12 volt fused, PoE switch, high security high net, GFI circuit, shutoffs with breakers here. You can see we like to do things right. We want this to last this client another 15, 25 years. It's a lot better to do this right once than to have to redo it in another 5 years. So up on the post there, you can see we've got our Fluidmesh point-to-multipoint Volo radio up there. And one of the key things to notice with that is we use this Belden cable. You can see how thick that is. It's a multi-jacketed, shielded Cat 6 cable. And again, we're using the Belden cable. You know, here you can see we're using the Belden Rev Connect. If I can get in there. Great product. Everything we do, we try and use the best solution we can find. You know, we don't use cheap cable, we don't use cheap connectors. You can see here we're using Belden cable as well. It's got a jacket in it, and The Cat 6 is called Data Tough. This has got a tape in it. I can't recall right now what that's called, but I'll put it in the video when I look it up. And basically what it does is when it gets wet, it creates a little barrier to help. And it should never get wet or cut, but if it does, we're covered there. So there you have it, an Accent Alarms gate system. We're really proud of these things, and if you're looking for a gate system, please give us a call. We can do just the gate operator for you, and more importantly, if you have a project like this, we can coordinate and be on site for the entire project, acting as your general contractor. We know we're not going to let you have posts put in that look like those that we showed earlier. We're going to make sure the concrete's done right, and you know, you could hire a general contractor. So now you got another guy. For example, this project took about a month, and that's probably another $20,000 to have a GC run your project for you. We can do all of it for you. We have over 25 years experience doing this, and I'd love to see you get a product and project completed that you're proud of, will last years and years of trouble-free use, get what you expect. These posts aren't going to come out of the ground. Your gate's not going to go down crooked. You know, it's just designed to last, and I would love to help you do that. Give us a call, shoot us an email, send us smoke signals. Let us know how we can help you. Hey there, I'm Sean with Accent Alarms. Keep your head on a swivel and be safe out there.